I think I should be streaming now.
Make sure that once I know that this one, the old one, is no longer streaming and it starts to upload, then it can't reconnect. And I think that's where I kept getting thrown off, is because I tried to build that.
No, it was good.
Fucking amazing job.
Brilliant.
Was good.
Top
Very
notch,
good.
sir.
Very
Really good.
good job all around. It was.
I'm streaming, by the way, so don't.
Oh. Not too much glad
better.
handing around.
You better edit it. And...
No, I didn't get your
All
answer.
right, I'm gonna go, guys. I'm gonna go. I might catch you later on.
All right,
Might catch you later on.
All right, bud.
All right.
Take it easy.
Love you,
Cheers.
man.
See you guys.
Cheers.
Bye.
Rob.
Bye, Rob.
Bye.
Love you, mate.
See you,
Cheers.
Rob.
Bye.
All right, you guys ready?
We there.
Ready.
Who wants to host the Fringe?
You.
James, you want to do this?
No. Walt needs to talk. He needs to get some. Yeah, Walt.
Walt can do the
shit.
talk.
What are
So-
we doing?
We're
I'll
starting.
go
with-
talk.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, you can fast forward through it till you hear some next. I don't know. I didn't think about that. I just threw the link.
No
Crazy.
thinking. Just
Hey, little neutrino, man.
yeah, dude. I'm seeing through the rock. I see you.
I'm going to give it the last 2 minutes of the video I'm going to play.
All right, that's good. That'll work.
All right.
Oh, actually, no, that won't work either because the outro is probably just as long. Let me find out. Let me see where it is. Hang on.
You need to qualify your sources, sir.
Yeah, sir, I just thought that it was a song. I forgot. I just threw it in. Heck.
You're
That's
hacked.
where the lyrics start. Back further. Go back further.
Is this the fight scene from David Carradine Kung Fu?
You're having a great Friday out there. We certainly had a great show. We can't have asked for a better show. Adam, thank you, sir, for that amazing experiment you shared with us. If you guys have not caught that yet, please go back after the Fringe and rewatch the replay. Adam presented some amazing evidence of moonlight being colder than its shade. How you guys doing? Welcome. Adam, how are you doing, sir?
Yeah, not bad, mate. A little bit drained from that. That was harder work than I thought it was going to be. I was containing my excitement because that was...
Well, you did a great job, sir.
Thank you.
The enthusiasm showed, and it was definitely an amazing experiment. I can't believe how well thought out it was, and I can't wait for us to get that paper out there, man. It's going to be great.
I'm genuinely, I wouldn't accept the experimental hypothesis, and I wouldn't be as positive. They're significant results. They're really bloody accurate thermometers. You know, they know that, and the way that they swapped when I moved them 12 inches each. Do you know what I mean? It's just so significant. Now, to qualify what that is the next stage of stuff, mate. But
right?
yeah,
Hey, keep moving forward. That's what we do. And hopefully people out there will replicate this level of, details, controls, that kind of thing when they do their own experiments out there. John, how are you, sir? You doing all right over there now that we've hit the Fringe? Time to relax a little bit?
I am, yep, very good, very relaxed over here. No, I'd agree with you, Adam. They are significant. I mean, when I did my experiments, they were about a foot and a half, 2 foot apart. One in the shadow, one in the moonlight, and there were significant differences. And I've done it 5 times now, so yeah, I can completely concur with your findings so far.
Again, that was, as Walt said, in terms of old experiments, that was one of the critiques I took out of. If you look at Gerard's stuff on bands, and you look at people with bits of concrete and stuff, the gap was too significant, and the variables in the environment were too significant. So that was something I tried to concentrate on to kind of minimize or totally neutralize those effects. So that was, again,
at the end of the day, we've got a conclusion that moonlight is colder than moon shade. And what can we realistically deduce from that? I mean, I've never come across a substance or seen any papers, and I've been looking, and I'd be happy if anyone can provide any of something that is reflecting hot light, warm light, radiant light, and is producing cold light.
In the lab, in nature, I'm waiting.
Yeah.
Well, that that leads to one of my. There's so many things come out of this experiment, guys. That's really.
Well, hang on, guys. Let's get the rest of the guys in on this. James, what are you thinking about this up there in the north? I'm sure your experience with the moonlight is quite chilly up there, sir.
Thank you so much. I did want to get a little quip in, and I'm glad to be on the Fringe. I got me drum and bass. Drum and bass. It's been a tough week, man. I'm really going to let my hair down.
Said a lot of prayers for you through this week.
Praying for you too, man. You need it. We need it.
We're going to make it.
Do you know what just made me smile so much is that I realized that Tuesday morning, so Monday, I fly out, and I get to be on a 5-hour flight. And I am going to actually be the guy from the realm that goes on the plane and does this shit right now.
I hope you find something awesome, my friend, or talk to some neat people.
Yeah,
I'm going to talk to the pilot.
Josh, jump in here with us, man. You did a great job. I know you've had a second to rest up, maybe get you something to drink. You ready to hop in here with this madhouse?
Sorry, I was just trying to make sure our videos were public and listed on YouTube.
You do that, sir. We're here. You hop in when you're ready.
Poor Egg was over there trying to share it. YouTube was like, "Are you sure you want to do this? This video,
right? Are you right? Are you sure?"
No, but they're set up now, so it should be good.
Nice. Hopefully, they don't lose and have lost tapes again.
No, I've always noticed the cooling effect of the moon, especially here in Missouri, because the summertime can get so freaking hot. I remember being 13, 14 years old, kind of living out in the country. I was a little crazy, and I would just, middle of the night, I would just want to go walk in the woods, by the moonlight. It's so bright that you can just see. But I remember it being so hot during the day, and then the moonlight just had this complete and opposite cooling effect. The humidity was gone, and it was just noticeably cool on the skin. And that being said, I've always sort of had this sort of strange obsession is too strong a word, but kinship, I guess, with nighttime and the moon. Where I grew up was on a river, and it sat on top of like a 200-foot bluff that overlooked the river valley. So in my teenage years, during the autumn, when the fog would roll in from the river valley at night, the fog would blend in perfectly with the night sky. So as a teenager, I'd go get stoned and just dangle my feet off the edge of the bluff and basically sit on the edge of the world and look out into the vast nothingness, because the fog below my feet blended perfectly with the night sky. So it was just sitting on the edge of nothing. It was just a completely surreal experience, and I've experienced it every chance.
Man.
So yeah, I've always had that kinship with the moon.
That is so cool. Do you ever remember the moon in Manitoba? I just wanted to. That's what I was trying to cut in with earlier. When you were there, when you spent some time in Canada, because Walt had asked me, and I totally forgot. But for me, it's cold out here. Like we'll get those humid days, like where I used to live in southern Ontario, near the New York border, almost. You would get those humid days, but then at night, this big, massive gray thing would come out, and it would really kind of like what Adam showed. It would really cool down quite quickly within 2-3 hours. Like it would drop, and you could feel it.
No,
so
absolutely.
I just wondered if you remembered that one.
I do remember that. I remember thinking how warm it was for Canada, because it had been a long time since I had been to Canada. And I remember it was August, so it was still warm. But then I remembered how chilly and cold it got at night. And it's a very subtle difference. But I remember the light being different, even for August, because I grew up in Missouri. So the light, I remember it being different too, a little bit more bluish with the silver than here in Missouri, where it's very white and silver.
Right.
So
Yep.
the subtlety and the color difference of the moonlight, I thought was very strange too.
Different elevation, different layering, different.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure there's also, yeah.
I know even here in Oregon, while I've been here, the moonlight has been totally different. It's so much colder at night. I mean, it drops sometimes literally 20 degrees. It'll be 80, almost 90, and then by the time it's midnight, it's almost 60 here again. So it's crazy how quick it drops, especially the full of the moon's been getting here. I noticed last night I was taking some photographs, and as I would step off the little porch out there out into the moonlight, I could feel it hit my skin and just immediately start cooling me.
That's interesting.
Now this stuff is kind of like this. What you're saying there lends to kind of my feeling towards some of the results I've seen in those 4 experiments. And whilst I don't stand by it as strongly as I made the previous statements, there's some data, guys, that if you look at what's happening, your descriptions, your experiences are matched also by the tests there. And that's about experience and the reality of what's happening. If you look at test 2, the variance is 1 degree, and that's very cloudy. And if you look on the same night, the variance when it's not cloudy is 0.7. And the results are very, very close together, 16.6, 16.5, 17.2, 17.3, because it was a warm day. So there's lots of heat coming off the ground, okay? But what we're actually seeing there is when it's cloudy, we see a bigger variance. So when the moon is covered, we see a bigger variance. Now that is contrary to initial thoughts, yeah? Because you'd think, well, if the moon's out, it's going to be colder on the one that's exposed to the moonlight. But what are actually my thoughts on this are that when it's cloudy, the one that's exposed to the moonlight is exposed to moonlight and warm air. So the cooling effect is bigger, because when the moon's out, they're both exposed to the freezing cold air that the moonlight travels through all the way and cools the air a lot more. So the net difference is slightly reduced. Does that make some sense? Now, that's further validated by test 4, which is the one that's done during the daylight. So was it 10 to 10 or something, I think? Right, I said, where there's daylight. Now, there,
To be the positive anode and one has to be the negative. Well, should be, I guess.
Should be.
if the sun is doing the thing, the difference between daylight and sunlight with the gases, perhaps the moon then takes that charge back out of those gases, accumulates it. Maybe that's how the phases are occurring.
Speaking of which, we got a
And that's where
whole lot of
cooling is
details.
happening.
that
Yes,
we've
that's
never
where I was
shared,
talking
eh?
about. Getting to
Yeah,
Mr. Brahma.
Mr. BB, JB. Yeah.
Because we've had a bit of that confirmed a bit, somewhat,
What do you,
some different ideas.
Why don't we why don't we go around and we can each reveal what was the most astounding thing for us. Maybe we can secondhand some of our own personal best info from him. Share a little.
Absolutely. James, what was your takeaway majorly out of the whole thing, sir?
There are so many, but I would say the best one would be the Felix Baumgartner jump. The details that he gave us afterwards, and then going back and looking at the Felix Baumgartner footage, and then looking at how they tried to hide the transcripts of what they're actually saying in the headsets is actually rather quite hard to find. It took me more than the usual poke on Googs. Yeah, that for me was it. Hearing that he actually, was part of the crew that might have known the crew that may have debriefed him, that kind of thing. That is mine. That is all. Carry on.
Well, you're not going to tell us what he said, sir? Go ahead, Josh. Yes, what did you see?
Well, no, if James isn't done, I don't want to interrupt James.
All right. You're right. Pulling teeth, eh? Okay.
Well, yeah.
So
you can't tease just like that, sir.
No, I know. Okay. So the basic story is John Brahma was part of the Felix Baumgartner debriefing team. He actually was assigned by, let's call him the network, shall we, to go and debrief this guy, Felix Baumgartner, who was actually a high-level pilot, flown many, many, many times, many missions, the whole rigmarole, knows part of the deal. But they were sent in to get the real story and to debrief him right away to find out what he knew about where he had actually been. And here's where it gets interesting. Here's where I ran into like a little bit of snags. First off, I watched the footage back, and one of the things that we had found out from John was that he was actually in the first layer of what they call the 7 layers of, we would call them dome, they call them energy fields above us. And that, I think, made everybody's mouth wide in a smile right away. And Felix apparently was actually dropped from a balloon from the first layer of the firmament, which is a watery type layer. And when Felix came down, he said that for the first 20 seconds or something, he felt like he was almost, he felt like he was in water. It was the most calm and peaceful thing he had ever felt. And it was like swimming, except there was no water. If you had to move, you had to think about it. And it's funny, when he hits the lower atmosphere, if you watch the video back, then he starts to go ballistic and starts to spin like a mofo.
Yes. It's like somebody tossed a rag doll out a window.
Yep. So he didn't know, even as a pilot with all his years, he had no clue that he was actually in a brand new environment, in a brand new energy field, in a witnessing and seeing and actually touching part of this new fourth dimensional or fourth kind of energy that we can't conceive or didn't know was built.
Fourth phase of water, perhaps.
Maybe another state. Could just be an
it kind of harkens back to that rocket that stops spinning and just drops away for a second and kind of suspends there.
Yes, kind of like that commercial too. Boy, they love to rub truth in plain.
Yes, they do put it in our face. In your face. Josh, you were going to talk to us about what you took away, sir. What was your takeaway from Mr. Brahma this last few conversations we've had?
I'm going to tease it up really good and then not deliver, just like James did. No. What I'm going to do is not say anything at all and just deliver. So we do this.
That's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. Is I've been in touch with the scientific team, and everyone is saying there's a big event which we are looking forward to in September, and then there's another one which we're expecting in October. So, given from what information we have, we believe these are events where the portal opens up, and we roughly sort of know, where it happens, because obviously we are there monitoring all the time, all the instruments. So that's what we're looking forward to, and I'm expecting, that we can sort of get the expedition done around the same time. Then we have a lot more information to bring back. It's not like we know what we are bringing back is not is anything less, but at least from a layman's perspective, that would add a lot of interesting things, because we might be able to, at least in terms of the language that is used right now, we might be capturing extraterrestrial activity right in front of us.
We'll just keep going, John. We'll just keep going.
Yes, that's amazing stuff.
Damn, that is crazy.
So yeah, that one kind of blew my mind. I mean, again,
that's your favorite.
Whether you
Have
can
you
take
guys
John.
been seeing anything interesting, Josh, in the skies above?
I have not, but admittedly, I don't spend a whole lot of time outside at night.
Right.
James, but you've seen anything?
Yeah, and this one's going to bug Adam too, because I know his brain a little bit, and I love it. But there's a period now that I'm watching the sky and I got this camera where the moon completely disappears. It's like it's gone from this realm for like a day or two. Where the frig did this thing go?
I thought I was the other one that was looking for the moon. It should be there. I guess they forgot to pay the bill. I don't know.
The hologram,
Googling didn't make it up that high that night. I don't know.
yeah. The Rothschild moon base has to go dark for a month or what? It's weird, man. Like, it is gonzo. Like, it's gone. Anyways, that's what I've seen.
I would concur. I think there are issues, and I think if you want my John bit, it leads into that quite nice. I've had a number of chats with John, and I'm not saying this validates him, but it's very interesting. A lot of the silly things that I've asked him, some of the answers he's given me have surprised me, but then led in very useful ways with a lot of other stuff I read and try to understand. Some of it, like I alluded to earlier on, in terms of, I don't know if that was heard, the bit about daylight and the difference, and it's not necessarily John, but he said a lot of other things that I think certainly show a real thorough understanding of the flat earth and a lot of theories going on, is what I would say. I wouldn't necessarily, it lends to credibility per se, but it certainly shows a bloody thorough understanding. And in a lot of the stuff I've seen, he's not ever contradicted himself. Enough of the big up there. But I would suggest, from my analytical, critical mind, I've not been disappointed by any of his statements.
And it's interesting how he always comes along with something that kind of either confirms something we're experiencing already or that we've discussed. And these are in private talks. These aren't things we've discussed on the show. I mean, this last week, I've told you guys of all the activity I've been seeing here in the sky at night. I literally sit outside at night with my astronomical binoculars and watch just amazing things.
I'm on
stars
your
that I've been seeing light up. go up, in the sky and disappear. I've seen the stars start taking off and change shape and change position. They're not
Dude,
satellites.
are you
They're
kidding
not
me?
on a straight trajectory.
Walt, are you
Oh,
serious,
no.
man?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I got some
That's been going on
pictures
for a week.
last night that I was about to junk on the B7. Like, I've never seen anything like this. Like, I thought I was shooting Sirius or something. And by the way, last night it was the weirdest thing. Right under the moon, to the bottom right of it, there was a star like almost attached to it. It was so screwy.
I think that was Jupiter, if I remember looking last night. And then I tried to take pictures, and they just would not be still. The moon would be still, but it was jittery for sure. I couldn't.
But I got pictures
I'll show them to you.
blue red light that looks like a worm in the sky, man. Like, it's really weird. It's very.
When was this? What night?
Yesterday, man. Yesterday.
Oh my!
I'm gonna go get him. I'm gonna get him.
I'm gonna go get mine now, because that's what I kept.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Oh,
the
dude.
ground. I was moving. I was taking
No.
steps because it was real long exposure. Then I thought it was the actual shutter click itself, but my
Okay,
brother and
I'm
I
getting my
tried that
camera.
at a
Be right
different
back.
time, and it was perfect. It was only the certain stars that would do that when I would take the pictures. Oh wow, yeah, interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Well, I'll tell you, I've definitely seen things here this last week. Just, normal activities, sky stuff here. I mean, there's an air lane behind us, kind of to the east, northeast, the Portland airport there. I see those planes quite regularly. And then I see air traffic that is obviously some other aircraft doing some, chemtrailing. Then there's local stuff, helicopters and low flying planes. I've even seen a hot air balloon going by. But these other things are way up there and some layers above. Most of the time they're either as dim as or dimmer than background stars, and then they'll light up brighter than the moon and then take off up in the sky, not down like most, in fact, like all meteorites tend to go down. I've never seen one shoot up.
I'm good the most that I just gave John Brahma quite a big up for me there. I'm gutted that the biggest cynic who managed to speak to him isn't here to give his opinion on this bit. But
I was thinking we need Rob here as well.
the next biggest one is available, and you had a good chat, John. What have you? Well, over to you, mate.
Talking to me?
Yeah.
That'd be you, Savage. Yes, sir.
Why am I the next biggest cynic? All I would say is that
realist. How about that? Is that better?
Okay, yeah. I mean, all I would say is that in the last sort of decade of looking into and researching what's going on in the world from a realist point of view, and then suddenly being, literally horse kicked in the nuts by flat Earth, I've lost all trust, belief, and faith in everyone. Whether you're my brother, you're my mother, you're my parents, whatever, it doesn't matter. I've lost the trust, the belief, and the faith in everything. So I can only say that I'm looking forward to the evidence. That's all I can say, because at the moment it's a story, just as numerous other things are. I don't mean to be pessimistic.
That's the point, John. No, you've made the point, mate, and I think that's also from my conversations with John. John's point. I'm not endorsing his need for further funds. What he has said is, the only way the evidence has come in is back from that boat, and
yeah,
that's the dichotomy of the situation, isn't it? I mean,
yeah. I mean, I've been on. I've been involved with the John Brahma thing from day one, and it has been a roller coaster of me battling belief with what can you show me, what can you prove, and there is a certain amount of trust and faith that's involved in this. And to other people, that you know, that is fine, and they may be able to invest that trust and faith at that time. I can't at the moment, but that's not to say that I haven't gone through a roller coaster of talking to John personally, communicating with him, discussing him with you guys, knowing the insides and the backsides of the scenes and everything. It is interesting. It is unbelievably interesting, and I would, like to be going along for the ride. But on the evidence I've had so far, I can't commit to it. But like I say, I'm looking forward to the evidence. I can't wait to see it. I hope this comes about. I cannot see a reason, even a financial reason, why John Brahma would be doing this as a scam. I can't see the motivation behind it. So it intrigues me enormously, but I'm hugely skeptical. So, yep, there you go.
One thing I will say is John has never pressured us to donate. Money has never been mentioned. It's never been brought up as far as him wanting us to donate financially or for us to spread his name as far and as wide as we can in order to get him as much money as he can get.
No, I agree. We have not been used as a sounding board. We've not been, well, maybe a sounding board, but we've not been used as a PR representative or someone to get the word out there. He's never asked us for any money unless we were willing to invest it. Yeah, I totally agree. And again, that adds to the intrigue.
Yeah, and as a sounding board, that's what we are. And sadly, we're not famous. And that's the strange thing, that his involvement with us is more that we appear to be, as he says, genuine flat earthers.
I'd say gladly we're not famous.
Indeed, sir.
He may not have come. I mean, he tried every famous flat earther out there.
The rock stars, I think
absolutely.
He called them.
yeah, absolutely. The flat earth rock stars. But what attracted him to us, I don't know. But it was the fact that we weren't that famous. We're best radio show that no one's ever heard of. Sorry, James.
What's her name? What's her name again?
God, no idea. I'm really bad with names. I'm really bad with names.
Who are we?
Realms.
IronRealmMedia! That's it.
For me, wow. I just somebody's paid money apparently now. That was really big news for me. $300,000 means 3 people really committed. Right. And that means like there's a huge chance that this could go through. Like obviously fucking whoever gets to go and whoever's paid is very lucky, and like I can't wait. It's such a more real possibility now that they have real people that they'll just go even with the 3 that paid. Even so, we could, like Josh said, man, we could be seeing some really crazy information if the trip takes place in September or October or whenever they were thinking.
And hopefully they'll hand some of that information off to us.
I definitely think.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. We'll probably get an exclusive for sure. Maybe then he'll actually do a live show with us. That would be
right.
That's when we'll get the live show.
That'll be awesome.
One of those other
in
little
spite
pieces
of the fact that he hasn't. Go ahead.
I was going to say one of those other little pieces of info that he gave out that I thought was kind of cool was there's going to be a sort of a briefing area for everybody that's going. So this is where you're going to get your identity protection. You're going to go get your Antarctic briefing. Basically, this is all the things you can do in Antarctica. But then after that, John Brahma says his team will issue everybody going new identities. So you'll get passport and name and a whole new identity to travel on while you're doing this expedition.
Josh,
come
sorry, no sound. No sound.
That might be a good thing. Maybe TMI. Who knows? I don't know.
That's Alba right now.
I'm still broadcasting.
Well, I don't have
so
access
watch
to the
your
screen to
mouth.
see if we're on or not. Let me know when we're live again, so I don't say something.
We are live
Inappropriate.
again, Josh.
We are live, Josh. Welcome back. Sorry
maybe
about
not
that.
on Josh. We're live on my channel, so
I think Eck has a maybe Alba just had his volume turned down. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's it because I just heard myself going, no sound, no sound. So I think we're.
I heard an echo, yes. So, false alarm. It wouldn't be Flat Earth FRINGE-CAST if it wasn't
Thanks, Alba, anyway.
guesswork. Thank you, sir, for keeping up with that for us.
Alba's wife is awake. If she happens to go to sleep, he'll try to sneak on, I think.
Nice. Oops, sorry about all the noise here. I walked outside for a bit of fresh air. There's
I think that was
rarely any traffic noise here in the back. But definitely, we had a friend from Twitter, a friend of mine there on Twitter that was going to pop in this week, but she definitely was not able to make it due to her children and just things happen, you know, life. She will hopefully be with us next week. So, speaking of Twitter, have you guys had any interesting trolls this week or anything like that you want to talk about?
Can I ask first, is Kaz about? I'm not sure I've seen her in the chat, but is she about? Because if we're chatting, maybe an additional opinion may be warranted. Are you out there, Karen? Not Karen B. I've seen there's two Karens in the chat as well.
Yes, we miss having you about with us, Karen. Hopefully you'll hopefully get in with us here soon. It seems like I'm having trouble.
There goes Walt. I don't know. Strange things are afoot.
I mean,
And
Friday night, so getting a bit busy, aren't
At the Circle K.
Well,
Roll
it
Bill
seems
and
strange
Ted's
things are in
reference.
foot.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
sir. Whoa.
Rufus!
Whoa, did you see that thing that Alba posted or somebody there about trying to share our video? It's
Blacklisted, unlisted.
is that what it was?
Seriously. I did not see that. I'm kind of not in the chat this week. I tend to get a little bit distracted from our own show when I do that. I do apologize to those I normally interact with in the chat.
It says, this video is unlisted. Be considerate and think twice before sharing. This is what YouTube says about sharing this podcast from Alba.
Keep scrolling.
Interesting.
Oh, go on. You fill us in, Josh.
Well, no, just keep scrolling. You fill us in.
Oh, we're there. Okay. I'm not doing the accent.
No, actually, I even addressed this on air. This was right at the Fringe. I was busy trying to change the name and change the listings of the videos because for some reason they go live okay, but once YouTube uploads them, they automatically set them to private. So that makes it really hard to share if nobody can see it. So I have to go back and set it back again to public so people can find it on YouTube. So he was trying to share it, and I was busy trying to. I saw him pop up, went back, changed the settings, had him share it again, and I think everything should be good now.
They do
So
make
Big
it
Brother's
difficult
not
to
watching.
share good stuff. They do. They make it as difficult as
Yeah,
possible
they
to
do.
share and get good info out there. I cannot wait. A little birdie told me that maybe the Realm is getting some new equipment, and I'm super stoked.
Shall we talk about it? I mean,
As am I.
No,
I'm
don't
getting
jinx it,
equipment.
man. Don't jinx it. We are.
No, if they
so
hear
good.
about it,
Let's-
it'll get
Yeah,
Lost in the
it'll
void
get
somewhere.
microwaved into the cell towers. By the way, Walt, I want to tell you something that just
Prank call. What?
it's fringe, just flipping, frozingly, freaking pissing. Guess what I got? I got a radiation smart meter now.
Oh
They're
shit!
here. Yeah, I got the
Really?
same one that you got put on your house. Yeah, in Canada, they're here now. Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi water
sorry,
meter. Oh,
brother.
dude.
Yeah.
No, so all of a sudden, my computer screens have like blue rings around them. I've been not feeling well. My lady's not feeling well. Like, it's just more shit upon shit upon shit.
Yeah, things got more tumultuous in my household after all the electronic smart meters got installed around the house. I will tell you that.
Oh, you
And
know
they were
what
there
we forgot
months
to
before I
cover?
realized it.
That's what I was just about to do.
Let's do
Was
it.
the
What you
ranty
got?
rant.
What you
That
got?
was the ranty rant.
Rant it
Remember?
up, sir.
No, I don't know. It was John or Adam who was talking. There was a ranty rant this week. What was that about, boys?
Well, Ranty smashed it. It was a classic, a nominee for a flatty. I don't know if you see. Obviously, we covered the pylons over Lake Pocotrain, is it, Josh?
Yeah, that's close enough.
Yeah. And apparently there's a bridge that matches it, and this guy's been on, I think it's some of the flat earth courts, hanging out, and I think the flat earth, the ball earth community have jumped on it as absolute solid evidence, even though if they really thought it through, the level of curvature you're showing would make a very small ball. But aside from that, they've jumped on it as solid proof. And this guy's been on, and it was brilliant. It was brilliant. Basically, Rant came on and just went through his evidence, taking him through it so patiently, because he must have been absolutely bursting. But he got him to the point of identifying these. I can't remember what he called them, but basically the midpoint of the bridge where the bridge changes, and at the point where the bridge changes, he's got him to admit all of this is true. And then he shows the picture, and the bridge actually drops best part of 60 foot in a curve, clearly demonstrating that the reason you see the curve from the distance is the actual changing shape of the bridge. And just smashed the guy, absolutely smashed him. But once again, the ball, he didn't even have the good grace to fold. It was quite shameful.
Really? I missed it. That's sucky. Why is that? They're just too stuck on it, eh? It's pride. Like, what? I keep saying it, but what are these guys going to do? Like, what's Buddy at Cardiff going to do when he gets the stones to recreate it? And we see actual, good equipment being used for something not paid for and not shilled out. Like, I bet you they could recreate it in a heartbeat at that university, but what are they going to do with it? What are they going to do when they have to accept this shit?
Hello? So sorry. I am having the worst time now. Apparently Fringe is not meant to be for me.
Sorry.
Hello?
You hear what?
Yeah. Josh, any chance that we could actually... I don't think Ranty Rant would mind if we actually played a bit of that. That would be quite funny, don't you think?
Ooh, I'd like to hear that, especially the end, since I missed it.
Yeah, maybe the final 6 minutes or something, because he spends almost stupid amounts of time trying to get them to confirm where they're standing from, what elevation they're at, whether they're on the east, whether they're on the west, north or south, or all this sort of stuff. Just like when I'm arguing with evolutionists and I say the word chicken egg and they go, it's not a chicken egg, it's an egg that has a chicken in it, or what's the drop when you over 30 miles? What do you mean it's a drop? It's a curve. Everything's relative to gravity. I mean, you spend so much time dicking about trying to confirm what definitions of what mean, that he has to spend, on that 12-minute video, he has to spend about at least 6 or 8 minutes to get them to agree with him on the bare minimum, where you're standing, what elevation you are, what you're looking at, how far you're looking out at. And it's just quite amusing. I wonder if Josh, we might be able to line that up. If not, I might be able to do it this end.
Whilst he does, right, just to go sideways on the chicken and egg.
Yeah.
Can we just?
And I'm almost got my pictures ready too. After the video, I'll have some pictures too.
Excellent.
Right.
Is Josh there though? Should I set it up or should Josh set it up? You're there, Josh. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Oh, sorry.
You said the last 6 minutes.
It's like a 12-minute video on Ranty Rant's channel. But yeah, the last six, I'd say the last 6 minutes sort of sum it up. What do you reckon, Adam?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's the best 6.
All right, cool. What were you saying, Adam? Sorry.
Well, I was just saying, I've got no problem with the hypothesis of, it has to be a previous species that gives birth to the chicken. But what kind of previous species is going to give birth to a chicken if it's not basically a chicken? Is it a dog that's going to give birth?
No, that can't happen. No. You can't have a dog turn into a cat. Not without Sagan's billions and billions of years.
So what is giving birth? What unrelated animal then is giving birth to this egg that gives the first chicken? Because it's a nonsense answer they've given because it precludes an explanation of what gives birth.
Well, I mean, what they're clearly explaining to me in Fantasyland is that it was nearly a chicken that laid an egg that had an actual chicken in it. So there you go.
So a chicken gave birth to a chicken. Is that what
non-chicken gave birth to a chicken?
So something of the same species gave birth to something of a slightly varying. So it was a different species. Is that what they're saying? Or was it the same species?
Difficult to say. All I've got really in the word salad is a non-chicken laid an egg that had a chicken in it. I mean, I've never heard anything so ridiculous in my life. But
and by that, what's a chicken? What genetic difference are they saying is significant enough for a chicken not to be a chicken, but also be able to give birth to a chicken by some freak genetic mutation of random genetics? Remember that's
the obvious sort of thing that your child would ask, is that, okay, listen, son, a non-chicken laid an egg and it had a chicken in it. Okay, well, what made the non-chicken? Okay, well, that was something else that was a non-chicken made the non-chicken. And I mean, like I said to this guy, where can you not see where this is leading? What started at the very beginning? Did you come from mud, soup, rock?
So let them have that. Let them have that. Just on the chicken and the picking, right? Just take the mathematics for that because it's their analogy that they've drawn. Now, evolution suggests that it's one random genetic mutation that obviously there'll be hundreds of millions of random genetic mutations that don't have a positive effect. Okay, but we get the odd one where we get the ostrich that forgets its wings and grows bigger legs. They're separate things that happen. Okay, but what we're suggesting here is sufficient genetic changes between the picken and the chicken, right, to differentiate from species. That can't be one genome that change one bit of coding that changes. So it must require multiple genetic codings. Now, the chance of one coding being random mutation and being beneficial is less than winning the lottery. Now, to put a string, imagine trying to win the UK, US, Euro lottery, Asian lottery, Aussie lottery, all in a string of these positive random genetic mutations. That is what they're suggesting And there isn't enough time, even in the 6 billion-year-old universe, for those kind of combinations to ever occur mathematically for a picken to become a chicken.
And then to turn into a finger licking chicken.
Well, that's easy.
Because they can't be called chickens anymore. That's why you can't have Kentucky Fried Chicken. It has to be KFC. Because the pickin's not a chicken, and it's certainly not a chicken licking picking chicken. Right, on that word. Josh, any update?
I've just been waiting for you guys to get to
Yeah. Cool.
Sorry.
You'll see, I've had it sitting up there waiting. All I got to do was press play.
I've got to click on you. Go for it.
Up here, or were you down here?
I was in Metairie, and this is on one of my videos. Like, I have the GPS coordinates and everything.
So you were down here then, near Booktown.
No, so you got to scroll. Down. Go right next to the causeway.
So that quality might be a little high. I mean,
Put it on satellite
down.
mode.
So about here, roughly.
It's looking good.
Not
It's
there.
funny at this point.
It's right next to the causeway.
Oh,
You can
right,
scroll
adjacent to it. Okay. Yeah, I know exactly where you are. So if I scroll out a little bit, and I just put right, okay. So at least we know where you are. You're looking up this direction. Is that right? Okay. So if we go on here, this is Google. Let's see, measure distance.
So for anybody listening, there's a video I have out there, causeway.
Okay. So the distance to the marker is about
elevation height and stuff like
about
that.
6 miles. Okay. Does that sound bad? Would you rather have it further back?
I would say that you're
Would you say how far along do you... Sorry?
It's the it's the bascule I think you see in the background. I'm not sure where that is. Zoom down. Yeah, you need to zoom down and like see where the bascule is from the shore. It's called a bascule. There's a marine hump and there's a bascule.
Oh, this
bascule.
This
Yeah,
thing.
that's the bascule.
Ah, right. So, this is what I'm getting to. Because on your next video, we can actually see the bascule, which is here.
You can see it in the other video as well.
Barely. I actually just went through the other video. Do you want me to go back to show you where you were on the other video? And you can't see any bascule there. And I said, is this the curve of the Earth? And you said, yeah, it appears to be the curve of the Earth.
Why don't you go zoom in?
No, just a minute. That's what you said. And I'm going back to here. And
Go
I
to
said,
the full zoom where you can see the bascule. Why are you like backed out?
you actually can see the bascule on this. You think you can see the bascule on this?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Maybe you can. Yeah, there you go. I can see the bascule right there. What are you talking about?
Where?
Right there, right up at the bridge, dude. You don't see that white thing right up the bridge?
What white thing?
Right
White
up.
thing? Where? There's nothing there.
Above the mile markers?
That?
Yeah, that's the bascule.
This thing?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the thing that goes horizontal across the ocean.
That's not the bascule. Well, that's part of it.
Ah, right, okay. Because on here, on this video, it's quite clear exactly what we're looking at. Can you see this that goes across here?
Right. I was at a higher elevation there.
Yeah, so you can clearly see that this vascule that you was talking about, which is evident here, is also evident in this video here. So we know we're looking at the same location, basically. We know we're looking at the same location. So here we have this man-made structure that goes along the horizon. Okay, you can agree that that's correct, yeah?
That's part of it.
Would you say it was this? Would you say it was this?
Yeah, that looks like it.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so here's another observation of the same vascule that you called it, with the arms coming out to each side. So when you was taking the image this side and you was taking the image this side, you was looking at an elevation of the bridge on this side of around about, let's say, 40 feet. And as it goes another 100 or 200 feet further on, can you see how the... No, just let me finish my... Just let me finish what I'm saying.
Well, whenever you say that...
Can you see that the height of the bridge here...
I haven't even evaluated how high I was. So how do you know I was 40 feet?
I'm not talking about how high you were. I'm talking about the design of the bridge. I am talking about the design of the bridge. So you just admitted that this is the vascule you was looking at, and these are the obstructions that were coming out. Okay, so this is the bridge that you was capturing on here. This is the bridge.
I believe the vascule is 60 feet. Are you listening?
Okay. How high is this bridge here?
I just said 60 feet like 4 times in a row.
60 feet. And how high is this part of the bridge here?
I don't know the exact height right there. I think it has a 15-foot clearance and then whatever the deck is.
So 15 foot. So I'm not 60 foot to foot. So there's a 45. No, just a minute. Just let me finish my observation, because I'm actually trying to just talk this through with you. So you was looking up this way and you was looking up this way from both sides. You've taken images from both sides and videos, and you can clearly see that here it is 60 feet. And when it reaches these obstructions here, which is evident in this video here, you see this curve, the same as you see in this video here, where you see the curve, but you don't see the obstruction. But you know you're looking at the same place because you can see the same vascular that you mentioned here. So we all agree that we're looking at the same place, and we're looking at the same spot, and we're looking down at the curve that drops on the bridge from 60 foot down to 15 feet. Now, if you was looking along this line of sight and this line of sight, you would have the exact same bullshit curvature that you proclaim is what you're seeing on this image here.
Why would it be exactly the same? It have to be the exact same angle.
The exact same, because it starts in exactly the same place. You can see where the curve starts here. You can see where it hits the vascular. You can see exactly what you're doing. You know this place. You've been there before. You know what you're talking about. You're a fraud, mate. I've outed you. You can see it. No, I'm not even listening to you. You're busted. Forget it. I'm not talking to you. I just wanted to get you on to just blow you away because you know what you're looking at. You've been there. You've seen it. You are busted. 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 I don't even want to listen to you.
Busted.
I don't even want to listen to you.
What are you talking about? You basically just drive the bridge.
Hey, sound me.
I was busted.
Done.
What are you talking about? I invite everyone in chat, including flat earthers, to please place your vote now, because that was brutal.
Brilliant.
It was brutal. Legend flat Ranty, mate. Legend.
It was very good. It was guiding him into a trap, and yeah, the guy has been there. He knows the layout of what's going on. He's seen the bridge. He has more advantage than most people, and he decided to put that bullshit across as truth.
He's mainstream scientist, mate. Liar and a fraud.
Well done, Ranty. Nice one.
Yeah, excellent, wasn't it? That was a flat earth court. He just took him apart. It was like listening to a court, wasn't it? He just took him through the evidence, got him to agree to the points. And
I
then
wish I knew the pretext before. It was a lot hard to follow, but I wish I knew who was who and what was what before, and then it would have been better. But I'm going to listen to that again.
Hey, everybody. Walt sends his best. Loves everybody. He's just still having trouble connecting, and I think he just threw his hands up and decided to call it a night. So, Walt, if you're still out there listening, we love you, brother. Be good. It was a great show. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for being with us every week. We love having you here at the Iron Realm.
Yeah, well done, Walt. I don't blame you in the slightest. You've had a shit time trying to get on here, on and off, up and down. Yep. Sleep well, brother.
God bless, Walt. Catch you soon, mate.
Prayers, my friend.
That's for you, Walt.
I really hope he's watching, though. I got this slideshow now that I want to screen share. I got some crazy pictures I want to share.
Yeah, go for it, James.
Before
Yeah,
we
looking
do that,
forward to them.
Are we inviting anyone on tonight? Maybe
I know
chance.
Alba's trying to get into Twitter to get to his DMs to get to the link that I've given him. Should he make it there, he can hop on.
In the meantime, James, what you got?
Yeah, go.
Well, I got some Nikon B700 footage from around my house, and I just put together a quick slideshow of what the stuff was. It's not even edited; it's all raw, so bear with me. Mm-hmm.
Sweet, throw it up.
This is all your footage, then, James. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Look at that.
That's crazy.
It's like a little man controlling that.
Who's that?
What is that, James? What star? I assume it's a
I have
star.
no idea.
Mental, though, isn't it? Look at the rainbow colours all over it.
That is so crazy.
Nice bit of moon, mate.
Lovely.
That's Venus. Looks like two discs on top of each other being sucked together. That's Venus again with some kind of weird energies or things beside it.
Are we sure this isn't you just bumping the camera on a long exposure?
I take no credit, my good friend. I have no idea. I simply present the pictures.
So this could all be you. What you're saying.
Well, what I can say and what is extremely and that those are all of them, by the way. But what is extremely rare about it is that really was there. I saw it with my own two eyes. The green and that kind of. I thought it was serious, but that was real. I saw it with my own eyes for sure, darting around a bit, changing, and yeah. Very, very, very weird.
So what I've seen recently is a lot of P900 shots of Saturn, and it's sort of clearly showing, like a donut ringy sort of thing, which I've seen in the telescope as well. You can't see with binoculars, but it just makes me wonder, when people say that, you take your 900 and I mean, it will automatically go to infinity if you're focusing in on a star. And what you're taking at infinity with your P900 is these sort of luminescent, sort of balls of electricity and light and everything else. But to the ballers, that is out of focus. Everything's out of focus. But how can that be out of focus if on the same infinity setting you can zero in on Saturn and still see its rings, or Jupiter and still see its so-called moons? Surely they would be out of focus as well if they are claiming that stars are out of focus. Now they're going to say that stars are trillions and trillions of miles away, but infinity is infinity. It's that's what I find quite hard to fathom. Any thoughts?
I think infinity is just a full opening of the lens, from my understanding.
Yep.
Is what I would say. I'm just trying to find a video of me. Wait there. If I share screen, just give me a go. I'll show you some of the other images I've taken that I've got on this PC at the moment that might. I'm not sure what I'm going to show you because I'm not sure what I'm pulling up. It's some stuff off the drive. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, so this is one I've taken. I think that might be Venus. I'm not sure what it is. But you can see, to me, this is a distortion of the camera. You're not focused in because what you're getting is a reflection in the camera. Okay.
Yeah, that's what my pictures look like. Exactly like that. That's with your P900?
Yeah. So now this is a different style. Like if you see me top up here, and we're zooming in.
I mean, I'm not necessarily saying that, you know, what you see is what is up there. I'm just saying that what you see is necessarily focused because it's at infinity. You know, it's like a 35 millimeter camera. It's designed to be in focus. So for the ballers to claim that what we're looking at is out of focus is wrong. If what we're seeing of Saturn and that sort of thing is in focus, then
what?
You know, we could be looking through a different medium.
Why is the millimeters important?
Okay,
because
so now look here. Now look here. Now that's not out of focus, is it? That's in focus. Do you see the difference? What you've got now, you're focused in on something. Okay, so this is a closer image where I've managed to get the camera to actually go out of that strange mode it goes into and actually focus in on what's there and give me a real image. That's what you're seeing, look. This is okay, I'll play that again. Now, the way to do this is to keep zooming in and out and use your video record. It's terrible to try and take stills. If you use your video record, which is what you're seeing here, it goes out of the automated zone that it tries to stop you seeing this. Look at that. That's a lie.
I learned. I can't wait to go out tonight now, Adam. Thank you.
Keep zooming in and out. Keep zooming in and out, and eventually you'll get these things. It takes hours, and it's really hard on the tripod because it's really hard to stop yourself shaking, James. It's like,
yeah, it is. I've had that. And what setting do you have it on? Do you have it on moon? What or actual? What like what?
I had it on manual. I take all the automation off as much as I can.
Okay.
That seems the best way to. Oh no, that's magnetic.
Cool. I'm gonna try it on manual then tonight, and because I've seen that, I thought that was the glitches, man. I thought those things were sometimes glitches because I get those discs like Rob was saying, like you've seen them, the Venus one that you had too. I get those, but I haven't gotten what you've just shown.
You can get those discs by try getting those discs, zooming in on distant street lights, and you can get those discs.
Okay, well then
that's tripod, James.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so these are those sort of things. Look, yeah, this is the twin. This is actually twin stars. This one, I can't remember which it is, but that is actually a shot of two different stars, and they're just P900.
Look at that.
So these are taken in Italy. These ones. That's why you can see the moon.
Well, you can tell they're taken from south of me anyway, because I see it as a footballer with a ball is at 12 o'clock.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie. Oh, I love, dude. You and your brother-in-law, was it? Yeah, had some fun there, didn't you?
Oh, it's fantastic. We're off for the summer, so I'm going to take a load of experiments. That's just dreadful, isn't it? Oh, that's what I've been reading recently. Look, that's what I've been trying to get. That's the best I can get. That's just nonsense, that thing, isn't it?
I started reading that, and yeah,
it looks like absolute garbage.
47 pages of gibberish.
Look how blue that light is. That you start to see the light more when you get tiny bits of cloud, and you see how it's kind of like the difference between a crisp white LED and a warm white, isn't it? The sun and the moon. There's a clear difference in the shade of the light. Look at that. It's not lighting anything else up. You know, I talked about the sun activating the molecules in the air to make everything blue.
Right.
Extra light. Look at that. It's not lighting anything else up. All it's doing is lighting up what it's going directly through, which is why you don't see anything.
Look at that also.
That is so cool.
Adam, you know, if you thought of that as a cue ball, try shining a light on a cue ball from any angle and see if you can get that sort of exposure on it. I mean, there would be a hot spot, there would be dark size. I mean, any artists know.
Do you have any effects on this? Does you have a vignette or anything, or is this pure raw?
That's just raw footage.
Dude, that's crazy.
Whatsoever.
I mean, we've all seen this. You know, even that. Where's the hot spot? Where's the light? Where's the shade? Even if it was being hit full on, it would not, as a ball, as a sphere, it would not give off that sort of light.
You guys are good with cameras and stuff. Like, somebody said to me, and I thought it was quite brilliant, actually, like with the camera technology we have now, one of the reasons maybe they don't go back to the moon is we would be able to see it live as they land, as they come into orbit. We would see the ship. We would see them even land the ship. Like, don't we have, I mean, with my little B700, I can get so close and such good resolution. You would think the government and everybody through TV and all the cameras that we should be able to film every friggin' step of every new moon mission to the HD point. Right? Or is that nuts?
Hence why there hasn't been a moon mission since 1976 or whatever it was. 40 years. Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Because because we could do that, probably.
Yep. 100% we could. There's no way. It's so frustrating.
The moon is not something you can land on. I think.
Or if you can, it's not. It's only a couple days, a month, maybe, or who knows? We don't even know. No. All we know, it's a crock full of lies. It's a shit show, and it's everything but what the answer is. They tell us. That's what we know.
It's been a mystery from for since the beginning. Basically, we have no idea what it is. We don't know how far away it is. We don't know how big it is. We don't know why all the craters are Earth-centric. I mean, the whole thing about the moon, and we're not the only ones to say it. Asimov and Orwell and all sorts of people were famous for not understanding what the moon was, and their greatest explanation for it was that it shouldn't be there. It was imaginary. That's what Asimov said, as far as I remember. we in the engine room?
That picture is amazing, very telling. Look at the two pillars and the arches and the angels on the corners. Then look at the picture of justice and the scales and all that in the background. And look at the gentleman at the table. Look at the map. This isn't. Where is this from, Mr. Meakin? Where'd you get this?
That's from Thunderball, James Bond Thunderball.
That's what they call the money shot, isn't it? That's the staged shot, like you say, the two pillars. I bet there's a globe on the top of those pillars somewhere. That's incredible.
That looks like the darkened globe there. You're right, sir.
Look at the
Joaquin and Boaz.
That's just unbelievably Masonic, isn't it?
Isn't it just fully Mason?
100%.
Just tells you so much. I've yet to look at the detail in the picture. The map's obvious. Look at the elliptical shape of that red
That
circle.
is so cool, man.
Yeah. Something I stumbled across ages ago.
They cannot hide the mountain of lies and evidence that is in old stuff. Like I've been saying it. John and I used to in the early days, before we had real format, we used to go on for hours about the stuff that they just can't. It's like the dam is bursting. They can't. History's going to betray them in such a big way, because once you see this shit, it's you can't unsee it. You see it everywhere. Even like I do this all the time, full time. My lady, she doesn't even do it full time. She just absorbs a little bit. She'll watch something now. She'll be like, look at that pillar. Look at the globe. Look at this. Look at that. Look at this swindle. Look at that Masonic hand sign. Look at the black and white. Look at this. Boop, boop, boop. It's like second breathing now. So
my
like
children
they're
do
dead.
it.
Yeah.
Like my children keep nudging me and look at the screen. I'm like, what? What are you looking at? And then it suddenly hits me, and I'm like, oh, the all-seeing eye and the pillars. And yeah, okay, I got you. Yeah, it is everywhere.
You'll never be able to wake up the world, or you'll never be able to wake up the masses to the point that they're going to hit that exponential overflow and we're going to change the world. Look how easy it is. My girlfriend does the same thing. She's not, nearly as deep as I am, but she certainly started the process of waking up. So now when she watches TV shows, she's pointing shit out to me. She's seeing it. It becomes so obvious. All you need is that person that can point it out, in such a way that your brain clicks at such a time that you're ready to receive it. But once it happens, it's game over. You can't unsee it.
That's so true.
And that's why
you know what, Josh? Aaron finds a lot more than me sometimes. I bet you yours, Dixie, keeps you very finds things that you wouldn't even notice. Like she finds things in like women videos directed at like social things, reality shows, like the Jenna Marbles. Remember that shit? 666 Jenna Marbles.
Yep.
YouTube star. 30 million.
In all of these things where you come across shots like this, people will try and decry it with, oh, it's just coincidence, whatever. But just ask yourself, what does a director in a film do? What is his art? What's his skill? What does he bring to the production of a film? What does he do? He frames a picture. Look at that. That is a piece of art made by a director. I'm not sure who it is, but
yeah, that's brilliant.
I call it.
And that's gonna be where that's gonna bury him, man. Like there's so many things. Hey Adam, did you, because of video project now that we're getting more detailed and stuff, the one I mentioned about the high-speed test track, did you ever do anything on it? Do I have some teeth on that or what?
Say that again. Sorry, I put that at the document up and it made me laugh, James. I'm sorry. That's kind of how I have to start sometimes. That says it all.
Okay.
Sorry, say it again, pal.
The high-speed track. Remember that one?
Oh, the military rail track.
Do I have something there? Because I didn't. It's quite a lot to put together. It'll be quite a lot of work for me to edit, and so I didn't get that one out. I put together a shorter one for this week. Something that I had.
I think the scientific significance you can draw from that rail track experiment is it doesn't prove the Earth's flat. What it does prove, if you measure the beginning and the end of the track and their relative height above the ground, is it proves that the ground that they run on is flat. That's what it scientifically proves without doubt in that experiment. And I think if you've got a track of, I can't remember the distance, James, but it certainly shows you've got a really, really
16
flat,
kilometers.
Right, a flat area of 16 kilometers. That's another makes that ball look more like a football in terms of panels, doesn't it? Of small flat areas. All of a sudden it gets less and less round, which realistically really does question the ball forming qualities of gravity, doesn't it? So I think if you can prove 16 kilometers of pure flat, and if it's relatively flat the other way, that's quite a large area that's defying the ball forming power of gravity.
I just thought of something amazing, Adam. You're amazing. Listen, oh my gosh. So do you guys have those boat races? Like with super like jacked up boats that are like a couple centimeters even off the water? Those things go like super fast, ripping on top of the water at like, I think even 200 miles, like fast, Adam, fast. And the conditions have to be dead flat, because the minute that they hit any resistance or anything, or the minute like something goes wrong or there's a wave or something, the things flip off and do 100.
I've thought about that, right? And it's the same with the jet fighter analogy that you see in some of the memes and stuff. And the reality is, look, if a jet fighter is flying at 600 miles an hour, or whatever it is, then that's, what's that? It's 100 a mile. Say it's flying at just to keep the math simple, instead of me having to work stuff out at this late time. Say it's flying at a mile every 10 seconds. Yeah. Now, if you're flying at a mile every 10 seconds, that means in every 10 seconds, you've got 8 inches to accommodate for. Now, I would suggest in those 10 seconds, the reactions of the pilot has to accommodate more by wind buffeting, because you're flying that close to the ground. It has to accommodate for a lot more than 8 inches. And any 8 inches per 10 seconds, because that's what's happening in curvature, would be negated by the skills of the pilot. So I don't think that's a good analogy for proving it's flat. The rail thing does, because it proves an area of 18 kilometers is flat. And like I say, that therefore questions why gravity isn't creating a hump on that flat, not what's underneath it that's stopping that being affected by gravity. Do you get me?
No, it is Fringe. Can you dumb it down a little for me?
Well, which bit didn't you understand? Which bit's
just the last part, explaining about the gravity part and why shouldn't you, the hump.
Well, if you've got a flat area of desert, so it's just sand, isn't it? So it's all affected by gravity, and gravity forms sand, yeah. And why is that area like that? Now, one isolated area is fine, isn't it? You can say, 1,000 years ago it was a lake bed. That's why it's flat, and gravity's not had the time or the opportunity to shape that little bit to demonstrate the curvature of the Earth. It just happens to be flat, which obviously is a nonsense, because that then negates why the water above it was flat to make it. Yeah, but because of that, if you've got an area that you can define as flat, that stops a ball, doesn't it? You've got to slice an area of let's say it's square, 18 kilometers square. Yeah, that's quite a big segment, and we know that that's not a unique segment across the ball. We've got the salt flats, we've got these flats, these huge expanses of water. Suddenly, it becomes very difficult to postulate a ball where the ball, forget water, the ball is created by the pulling of mass. And if that mass can be demonstrated to have very flat qualities and areas that existed over significant amounts of time ago, you have to question, again, the power of gravity. It can't reshape the land, soft sand, but it can hold the water to it. It's a...
Which might I add, people don't often think. Think about how deep the friggin' oceans are. What kind of power holds the bottom of the Marianas Trench water together? Probably the weight of itself, because it's flat.
All right, guys.
Is that Alba?
Yeah, it's me.
Perfect timing. You saved me from my terrible gravity joke.
Yeah, I was just... I thought I'd put a wee word in just to save you, mate.
Hey, Albert, good to hear from you.
Hi, you too, John.
Okay.
And Adam, it's good to speak to you guys.
And you, bro. It's been I've been looking forward to it, so nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to speak to you, by the way.
Since you're here, we're looking forward to your balloon update.
Oh!
I'm only kidding, mate. I am only kidding.
No. Hey. If we can get this thing off the ground, let's go for it. Know what I mean? I'm well up for it. Know what I mean? I'm definitely well up for it. Because...
So do you want to elaborate a bit on that, dude? Because I'm a bit ignorant. I know John had mentioned a pun, but if we're in for scientific experiments, then got a car will travel.
Was that Adam? Sorry.
I'm saying if you're in for big experiments like that, I'd love to come and join you on a map.
Yeah. Oh, I am definitely up for it. Definitely. Like I say as before, I'll try and help you guys out. No bother. I mean, definitely up for that. Just to expose this silliness of a ball Earth. Know what I mean, it's a joke, and I think we all need to put our heads together and get this hut in the head once and for all. Know what I mean? It's laughable. I mean,
sounds good to me, mate.
Absolute joke.
Put
know what I mean, John?
To it.
Yeah, once and for all. Know what I mean?
How far are you guys from Shakespeare country? What is that? Avon, Stratford.
I'm a bit far for there, like.
What about you, Adam?
Adam.
Muted.
Yeah, Adam, you are muted. What's up, by the way, Alex? Glad you finally got the link.
Yeah, no, I've had problems all day. I had to delete my Avist antivirus just to get onto here, like onto YouTube and Twitter. A joke, absolute joke. I've had problems all day. Know what I mean?
This is that's no joke, but if you want virus-free running, get rid of all virus software.
Aye. Hey, John, you are correct, by the way. You're absolutely right. As soon as I removed it, my computer worked perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Yep.
Know what I mean?
Have we lost you, Adam?
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. You didn't lose me. I was unable to get to the mute button.
I understand.
Stratford, yeah, I heard. Stratford in Avon.
Yeah, how far away are you from Stratford?
Is that like Glastonbury, north of Glastonbury, kind of south of Birmingham, isn't it? So probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours. to Stratford.
And what are you doing August 10th?
I'll be in Italy, mate. I'll be in Italy. I'll be busy.
What I thought. That's what I thought. Okay, no worries.
Experimenting. You might have saw a couple of. Did you see those water things on the water that just before I showed the Bond picture? There was a couple of towers there. And they were supposed to be. This is the story. You know, when we talk about bullshit stories with the John Brahma pictures, with the analogies for plastic in there and stuff. So they're towers that you can clearly see have got communication networks on them now. But we were told that there were oil wells that were being drilled, and the people of Abruzzo rose up against it, and they stopped the oil companies drilling oil there. And I'm all for believing people power, but to believe that people stopped oil companies taking oil is just a little bit beyond belief. But they're about 3 or so miles out, 3+ miles out, and I'm taking them stood on the beach, and you can see on some of them that they're like that. So I've only got a few, and that's one of the things I'll be doing in August, mate. Is a few camera experiments. So like I say, I can't do any.
Yeah, well, I was on the beach this morning, and I could see like it must have been like 100 miles at least. I'm talking east to west of a sea, and there was absolutely no curvature whatsoever, absolutely none. And I'm talking over 100 miles of sea. It was just level. I mean, and that was just through my eyes alone. It's how people can go on a plane and say, "Oh, I can see the curve." Absolute bull. You know what I mean? These people are no right in the head. You know what I mean? Just crazy, man. I just pure indoctrinated. You know what I mean? It's beyond belief.
I mean, there's something to be said that, you know, even if you're on a ball, that if you look around you, that your eyesight is going to be able to see the same distance away, you know, depending on atmosphere and that sort of thing, all the way around you. So it's going to be a horizontal line. But, you know, if you rise above that into a hot air balloon or a plane or something, then that horizon is going to significantly fall away, exponentially. And
on a ball.
Yeah, and it's just not what we see at all.
No. Horizon always comes up to eye level, no matter how high you go. No, I mean it's.
Yeah, I mean almost. I mean it's blurry. You know, when you're looking 500-600 miles out of a plane or whatever, it turns to hazy sort of, you know, milky coloured horizon. You can't. There's no definite horizon there, so you can't.
That's right.
You know, they can't say that, oh, it drops by 0.1 of a degree or whatever, so you're talking bullshit. No, you can't say that. I mean, literally, if you were rising up, it would visibly and exponentially drop below you. And it doesn't.
Yep, that's right. It doesn't. And it never has, and it never will.
No. I mean, these memes are great, you know, when they sort of say that the horizon never drops to your horizon. I mean, they're just memes. You've got, you know, you can drill down into them to the PhD level and peer review level to the point where, you know, you're starting to measure things like Adam is at 0.7 degrees and this sort of thing, you know, undeniably. The fact remains that if we were on a ball of whatever size, if we were rising above it, then the horizon would be visibly and exponentially dropping below us, and it's just not.
Exactly. That's not what we witness. You know what I mean? It's just not reality. You know what I mean? And it never will be.
Your avatar, John. demonstrates that really well. Actually, if you look at your little thing here, the horizon line as we would think of it is actually below 50% in terms of, and that's not, and because it's on an angle, it demonstrates the point that actually you're not seeing a horizon line. What you're seeing when you get that high, actually, there's nothing reflecting any light above the level of the atmosphere that you're seeing because you're so high, and that's why you see an actual drop below the center point of the camera. Not because it's a drop in the horizon, it's because there isn't actually anything to put in that point.
Yeah, not to mention the limitations on our eyesight with angular resolution and the fact that, you know, things that are too far away literally become invisible, including the sun.
Well, yeah, where does it go?
Well, I mean, Good Times for All can tell you where it goes. You can put a torch at one end of a warehouse and, you know, walk off 300 foot the other direction with a camera, and it will disappear on a flat surface. So, yeah, anyone can do this. Anyone can show it. So, you know, the biggest question the ballers have is how come it's not daylight everywhere? It is just, well, they've no idea. They haven't tried it. They're reading out of textbooks. They're regurgitating scientific dogma without actually trying it out, because Good Times for All has tried it out, and he's done it with a camera and a spotlight and all the rest of it, and it literally disappears just like the sun does on a flat plane.
Well, physical. No, I don't know. I mean,
can you turn up a little bit, Albert? Can hardly hear you, dude.
Sorry. I'll try and turn up. Too loud?
Not loud enough. You can hear me.
2 seconds, mate. Loud enough.
That's better.
All right. No, because I'm just back for holiday, and I've lost my headphones, so I'm sitting with my headphones that I use for gaming. So
where'd you go on holiday?
Up to scratch. Sorry.
Where'd you go on holiday?
I'm just down to the south west of Scotland for 1 week. Then I'm up to Skye for next 2. Yeah, because it was peeing rain up in Skye, so we decided to go down to the southwest of Scotland. So hopefully it'll be better weather the next 2 weeks up in Skye. So
you thought you'd avoid the rain and go and find some sun and midges?
Yes, yes. We only had 1 day of rain, so it was a good choice. It was a good choice. No, I mean, but like I said, went to the beach. I'm talking at least 100 miles of open sea, and it was flat, pure flat, no curve.
Can't get away from it, can you?
No, and I could see 30 miles at least over to the next island. Well, bit of land, and I was in the beach on eye level with the sea, and you could see right across. No curvature whatsoever. Unfortunately, I didn't take any pictures, which was
I'll tell you what,
of me, obviously.
Albert,
know what
you've been we've been following each other on Twitter for quite a while now, and you mentioned something about a boat you had off the northeast coast, or the northwest coast, sorry. I'd like to hear more about that, because I'm looking for an escape to Iceland at some point. I'll come to you.
Well, I'm up there for the next 2 weeks, so you're more welcome to come up, John, and we can go and we can explore. You know what I mean?
Have you got a vessel that'll get to Iceland?
Maybe take your life jacket for that long.
I think I know what you mean. Yeah, it's a bit
Number
choppy up
73
north, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm talking fishing vessel here, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm
Maybe
talking
no.
life vessel here. I think maybe
Yeah.
or
Hope you've got good
submarine.
insurance. Yeah. No, I mean, no, we can get, we can explore
Alright,
the Antarctic. The Antarctic, maybe a wee bit of stretch, but
sounds
you know
good.
what I mean, mate? No, you're more than welcome to come up and chill, man. Know what I mean?
You may live to regret that, mate.
No. Get do some fishing, chill, get a wee beer. Brilliant, man. Brilliant. Know what I mean, John?
You up for it, Adam?
I'll be up for it after the summer, mate. Although I think those guys are I've got a pretty, like I say, I've got a pretty busy schedule until September. So
September.
I tell you what, mate, come up for a bit of golf as well.
Oh, aye. No, in September weekend, come up to Skye and we'll log out in the boat and fucking enjoy ourselves. Know what I mean? Have a good time. Take some good pictures of the flat horizon.
Albert, mate, you know, in terms of the panoramas you're talking about, is there any landmarks that you're able to place? Because I mean, they're if you're able to actually quantify those distance rather than say it's 100 miles.
Yeah.
Is there
I could verify it on Google or whatever. I mean,
yeah, that's what I mean. Can we get pictures of islands and that, and two islands in one shot, so that we can demonstrate stuff and add some numbers to it, which would be, we can validate on Google, can't we?
Well, like I said, unfortunately, I didn't take any pictures this week at all.
Hey.
Which was a fault on my part, know what I mean? Where I could have. But I can go back down and do it, know what I mean? I can prove. I don't need to prove a flat Earth. You know what I mean? It's there for us all to see. You know what I mean? I don't. But I can go down, take the pictures, come back up, upload them, and prove that there's no curvature whatsoever. You know what I mean? If you guys want that, I can do that. But
hey, dude, on that, and I didn't need proof that moonlight was cold.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, Adam.
We're here to help people, and
sorry.
Shit,
I know.
You know?
People that are new to this will need proof.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I get what you're coming for. You know what I mean? I can. I've got a friend in there that has got a caravan, so I can maybe pop down.
If you've got a boat, send me some links of roughly where it is. Do you know what I mean? On Google Earth, and let's have a little sifter at what we can come up with in terms of some, like when Rob was doing his shots. It took him for ages to find out which island was which.
It's on Glen. Adam. It's on Glen Brittle Beach. Just down for the ferry pools.
Glen Brittle. BRITTLE or
Brittle Beach, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just down for the ferry pools. It's down there, mate.
I'll have a look.
Lovely location. Lovely.
Albert, how many of your friends are flat earthers in real life?
The more, mate. The more, everyone that I talk, all my pals and all my workies and that, get me in. My wife has too, but she likes to, she says that don't talk about it because she likes to hide in her wee bubble and that, but she knows all these things are all fake, all these false flags and whatever.
Same here, bro.
Okay, she knows it's all real, but she likes to blink it out because she doesn't want to really think it is true, Ken, if you know what I mean.
What about your mates down the pub? You know, they think you're nutter.
Well, some. Some, but then 90% of my mates know that the earth is flat.
Really?
You know what I mean?
Wow.
90%, I'd say 90%, easily.
Brilliant.
Easily. Brilliant. Without a doubt. You know what I mean?
And that's because of you talking to them, or they've come to that conclusion on their own?
Because of me, and then they go and research themselves and realise where we live, you know what I mean? I say don't follow any map, just observe your natural like just go and look, natural observers. No, I mean, just look. You can see it in your face. It's
pretty obvious, isn't it?
Aye. I mean, it. Anybody that thinks we live in a ball that's spinning at 66,000 miles an hour and travelling this and travelling that is. Are you men? Are you? No.
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. On that
you know
note,
what I mean, John? It's absolutely nuts, man. It's beyond belief, if you ask me. I mean, you're totally brainwashed. It
goes against logic, doesn't it?
Yeah, aye.
It goes against logic, senses, everything you can
your
see,
senses,
you can feel.
Exactly.
You have to ignore all of that.
I mean, how can a vacuum go against a non-vacuum?
Without a barrier in between, yeah.
You cannot replicate that on here. It's not natural science. You just cannot replicate it. It's impossible.
The phrase you're looking for, Albert, is called faith.
It's what?
It's called faith. You to believe in.
Yeah.
Faith, trust, and belief. Religion.
Scientism.
Yeah, which is a religion. Whether they like it or not, including atheism, and I'll get some hit back from that, but who cares?
It's like any religion. It's all faith, it's all believing crap that you've been told, and you believe it without researching or whatever. I mean, there's no repeatable evidence of a curve or movement of this earth.
Anyway.
And there never will be, because it doesn't. There's no curve, there's no spin.
The analogy I'd use in terms of faith is you can go to somewhere in Rome or whatever and see a statue of the Madonna, and at certain points of the year it cries, and that proves that God exists and the Roman Catholic faith is the one true faith. Or you can have a good look at a picture painted by neutrinos as they bounce straight through the earth.
That's pretty good. Well, fellas, I think I'm going to have to call it a night. I'm getting a little bit of a rumbly in my tumbly.
I'm done.
Yep, likewise. I've given up looking for fairy dust. Thanks, Alba.
Alba, legend. Great to talk to you, bro. We need to talk more. Yeah?
Thanks, Adam. Thanks, Josh.
Night, mate.
James, Walt, Rob. all those who have fallen by the wayside, you are remembered. And on that note, I will sign out. Take it easy, guys.
Bye,
Thanks.
John. Josh, I'll leave you to hang up. Albert, good night, mate. Take care. Josh, God bless, mate, and I'll see you soon, pal.
All right, sounds good, Adam. I'll talk at you later. Well, I guess we can chalk another one up in the history books. Because I think we're done here. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in to another Flat Earth Friday FRINGE-CAST. The after hours, after show, after party. Deep into the fringe, where things can get a little crazy, truth be told. So everybody that stuck with us, thanks. I really appreciate it. I hope to see you back next week for Flat Earth Friday on the Iron Realm. My name is Josh Corey. This has been another hell of a Friday. Everybody enjoy your weekend, wherever you are on this magnificent plane. TGIF, thank God it's flat. Thank God it's Friday. I'm done.